Hello, everyone. My name is Megan Broderick, and today I will be presenting my proposed intervention, a one-credit mindfulness course implemented to mitigate test anxiety in college students. As many of us can identify with, college is a stressful environment. According to the American Psychological Association, 87% of college students cite academics as their primary stressor. One specific and significant form of academic stress is test anxiety. Defined by the American Psychological Association, test anxiety, abbreviated as TA, is tension and apprehensiveness associated with taking a test, frequently resulting in a decrease in test performance. Given the significance and weight of exams at the collegiate level and the future implications of grade point averages, it is unsurprising that approximately 25 to 40% of college students suffer from test anxiety. The predictors of test anxiety are complex and can vary from person to person. Research generally cites low academic performance, being a first-year student, excessive course load, lack of a systematic study plan, poor social support, and psychological distress as being predictors of test anxiety. Importantly, test anxiety is an impediment to academic success. Test anxiety is negatively correlated with standardized tests, university entrance exams, and GPA. In other words, higher levels of test anxiety are associated with lower academic performance. Research suggests that this poor performance is mediated by the disruption of attention and concentration and of working memory. Excitingly, emerging research has found an intervention for reducing test anxiety: mindfulness. As defined by the American Psychological Association Dictionary, mindfulness is awareness of one's internal states and surroundings. This concept has been applied to various therapeutic interventions, for example, mindfulness-based cognitive behavior therapy, mindfulness-based stress reduction, and mindfulness meditation, to help people avoid destructive or automatic habits and responses by learning to observe their thoughts, emotions, and other present moment experiences without judging or reacting to them. Mindfulness has a host of physiological and psychological benefits: reduced rumination, stress reduction, less emotional reactivity, increased cognitive flexibility, and critically, enhanced working memory and improved focus and attention, which are precisely the qualities needed to counteract the detrimental effects of test anxiety. By fostering greater self-awareness and reducing anxiety-driven interference, mindfulness can help students manage cognitive overload, allowing them to maintain concentration, effectively retrieve information, and perform at their best under high-pressure conditions. Crucially, a growing body of research supports the effectiveness of mindfulness-based interventions in alleviating test anxiety. A meta-analysis of 16 studies encompassing 1,283 participants across various educational levels from high school to college demonstrated that mindfulness interventions led to a moderate to large reductions in test anxiety. Notably, longer mindfulness programs, i.e. 6 to 8 weeks, were more effective at reducing anxiety than shorter programs. Given the substantial research supporting mindfulness as an effective method for reducing test anxiety, I propose a 14-week, one-credit course on mindfulness that emphasizes both its theoretical foundations and practical application. I propose that this evidence-based course would explore the impact of academic stress and test anxiety and the role of mindfulness in enhancing student well-being and performance. I believe learning the why and how behind mindfulness is just as important as learning its practice. So I propose that students will engage with scientific literature to learn about how to practice mindfulness-based strategies, develop self-awareness, and enhance emotional regulation skills. Ultimately, students will design a personalized mindfulness plan to optimize exam preparation and academic success. This course would be available to students of any year, but extra seats will be reserved for freshmen, as being a first year is a predictor of test anxiety. For the sake of time, I won't go into great detail about what each class will entail, but I'd like to share the intentional structure behind the course. This semester will begin with an introduction to mindfulness and an overview of what students can expect. We will then focus on understanding test anxiety, what it is, how it manifests, and why it significantly impacts academic performance. I believe it's crucial for students to first grasp the underlying mechanisms of test anxiety so they can more meaningfully engage with mindfulness practices as targeted tools for managing it. From there, students will learn how mindfulness reduces stress and test anxiety, followed by hands-on learning of various techniques such as breath awareness, grounding strategies, cognitive reframing, and self-compassion. These methods are taught with flexibility, encouraging students to discover what resonates most with them. Throughout the course, we'll also engage with scientific literature that connects emotional regulation, perfectionism, fear of failure, and early signs of anxiety to academic performance, all of which are often at the core of test anxiety. As the course progresses, students will begin applying mindfulness directly to academic contexts through focused study habits, test-taking strategies, and personalized mindfulness routines for exams. By the end, each student will have designed a customized plan for managing stress and optimizing academic success. The course will conclude with a reflection on progress and key takeaways, with space for feedback to enhance future iterations of the course. The final session will be optional and flexible, allowing students to study mindfully, either individually or in a supportive group setting. To assess the effectiveness of the intervention, students will complete 2 surveys at the beginning and end of the semester. To measure mindfulness, the 39-item 5-facet mindfulness questionnaire will be used, a widely validated and psychometrically strong tool. To assess test anxiety, students will complete the 20-item test anxiety inventory, another widely validated and psychometrically strong tool. Because simply enrolling in a one-credit course may indirectly reduce test anxiety, a control group of students enrolled in a different one-credit class, one that does not target mindfulness or academic performance, will be used and will complete the same surveys at the beginning and end of the semester. If students in the mindfulness course show increased mindfulness and decreased test anxiety relative to the control group, this would show preliminary evidence supporting the effectiveness of this intervention. Here are my references, and thank you.